the next episode of the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast. I'm Iconoclast.
And I am your host, Dick Tucker. I don't know how you can fucking laugh with all the shit that's happened. It's all gone!
You're the one that put the fucking poster up.
I would have never known about that movie if it wasn't for you. I didn't see a cock. I'm sorry.
It's a very large
I feel like fucking Opie and Anthony of wrestling here. This is terrible.
What's Opie and Anthony?
They were like, they were this radio like group, like a morning team, like Howard Stern.
Yeah.
They got in trouble because they broadcast some couple having sex from the St. Patrick's Cathedral.
I thought that was Stern did that.
No, that was Opie and Anthony.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, we got DTSSN is gone. I'm sure you all know that by now.
Yeah, we're currently broadcasting on the virtual sports
lab, and we may be on Rumble.
Which is
to figure out what comes on. It depends on how many alt-right people I can stand to go over that way. Might not be worth it. And if you're hearing this, it means we made it back on. If you're not hearing this, I guess it doesn't fucking matter. But we're gonna do a show anyway. So
yeah, we got Rumble's cloud services business hosts Truth Social, and the platform is popular among the American far right. We're not going on there.
It's the same kind of interface as YouTube, though. It's pretty easy to run.
Okay,
and I'm old, and I do all the work.
Yes, so
including getting us thrown off the air. But I lost everything. All those videos.
Well, you're the one that didn't back all our shit up.
I know. I have everything else backed up in the world. I didn't back up the channel. I never thought this would happen, honestly.
Because you had to put up the Lords of the Locker Room uncensored poster.
We still don't know if that's why.
Why else would it?
I don't know. It could just be an algorithm error. I had 4,500 videos on there, dude.
The Can-Am connection.
Yeah, and you blamed it on me because I told you what the Can-Am connection was. I was like, so we have to go all the way back to 1987 and me renting WrestleMania 3.
Tom Zank and Tito Santana?
No, Tom Zank and Rick Martel.
Whatever. Rick Martel and Tito Santana are the same person.
Anyway, we're going to save the Revolution review to the end.
So what else are we doing?
Now there's news. There's news.
As always, we have something else on here. We have my co-host's favorite pay-per-view.
One of my
Backlash 99.
Yes.
Well, what's your favorite? I thought this was your favorite.
What? My favorite of all time?
Yeah.
No, my favorite of all time is WrestleMania 3 because I was a little kid.
Oh. That pay-per-view sucks.
Yeah, well, if you were a little kid when it was around, you would feel different.
One decent match on the card.
All right, let's do the WWE news first.
The Fed.
All right. Io Sky upsets Rhea Ripley for women's title on 3-3 Raw.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Well, that's good, though. You want to get swerved a little bit.
Yeah, we got Russo doing the booking here.
Did you see the bullshit with him and Flair?
I didn't really read into it. What was that about?
Flair was, I don't know. There was something that came up. JBL, you told me about it, where JBL came up and said that he doesn't have, he can't get a job anywhere if he wants to. That's what.
Well,
no shit, he can't.
He sucks.
He fucking ruined the whole goddamn. He basically ruined the Attitude Era by making the Attitude Era.
What do you mean?
I don't know. The Attitude Era is hard to follow up. Well,
I think the Ruthless Aggression Era, early Ruthless Aggression Era, is better.
Yeah, but then it goes into Benoit killing his family and himself really did the whole sport in.
Oh no, it sucked before that. To me,
yeah, but that made it worse.
No, to me, when WWE is at its best, is between
the sheets.
No, is between Invasion and
WrestleMania 18.
When they established the brand split.
Right after WrestleMania 18.
No.
Where Flair's the leader of Raw and Vince has SmackDown.
No. That's good. What I'm talking about is when they have 2 world titles. That's when it sucks. With
the 2 belts with the Undisputed Champion?
No. That I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when they had the Undisputed Championship, and then they had Brock Lesnar won it. And then they had Lesnar was exclusive to SmackDown. So then
they gave Triple H the world title on Raw.
Yeah,
that was it. That was the end of 02.
Yeah, so end of 02. I can quantify it with this: SmackDown, shut your mouth, peak right there. By the time you get to SmackDown, here comes the pain. When they have 2, To me, having 2 world titles ruins it. Because what the fuck's the point of the world title? That's the thing right now. Cody's the undisputed champion. No, he's fucking not. Gunther's the world heavyweight champion. So which is it?
Yeah, and Gunther and like, who the hell's getting wet over Gunther and
Uso?
Yeah, who's getting wet over Gunther and frickin' Jey Uso? I mean, I don't give a rat's ass, do you?
Especially now that they have the storyline with
Gunther needs to be in like, I mean, I'm sure they don't book him in like high velocity angles because he's like not a personality, but he is good on the mic, but he has to be used sparingly because he's like a foreign heel. He's an old time. He's a throwback in every way by his style, the way he looks, and the way he talks.
Speaking of throwbacks, I had to tell you this. I was reading this thing about Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
How she's basically just the female Kevin Nash. She barely does any dates. She can't work in the ring. The only difference is that Nash could talk and she can't talk. And she gets into drama backstage. She's just like Kevin Nash. Except Big Sexy could talk at least. Right? Because did you read about this thing where she got into a fight with Shayna Baszler apparently?
Who, Jade Cargill?
Yeah. Where there was something, this just came out, seemingly leaked from one of the women that just got released, that apparently there was this like women's 3-way match at Clash at the Castle for like the women's tag belts. It was like Alba Fry and Isla Dawn versus Bianca and Jade.
Just say Alba Fry.
It's
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
Whatever.
Yeah, because one of them's got, who gives a fuck about either one of them?
And then it was Shayna Baszler, and I don't know who else. Maybe Zoe Stark. But anyway, the point was...
It doesn't matter who you're talking about. You're talking about women's wrestling. I'm
is that they... Jade kept botching, of course. And then Jade went up to Shayna Baszler after the match in the locker room and said that you need to learn how to work. And apparently, Shayna Baszler did not take that found that very hypocritical of Jade, considering Jade works about as well as a dead fish.
She couldn't work her way out of a wet paper bag. But anyway, skip Jade Cargill. There's never anything interesting to talk about. If she would have thrown that girl through one of the fucking glass things.
Real glass! Hey, last night we had real glass.
With what? I fell asleep. You're going to have to do the review for that one.
Which hardcore match was it?
I don't know. We'll bring it up at the end.
Was it the Tony and Mariah match had glass?
I did watch MJF Hangman.
That was amazing. Again, we'll talk about this when we get to Revolution, because I have a lot to say about Revolution. 9 out of 10 pay-per-view, but 0 out of 10 main event.
Oh, yeah, that sounded... I read about it. It just sounded dreadful.
We'll talk about it when we get to it.
All right. Anyway, getting back to more female WWE news. Asuka expected to be out past WrestleMania 41.
What's wrong with her?
She's just injured. She has an injury. She will be out past WrestleMania 41. I couldn't talk there for a second. And apparently, did you hear about this shit? Apparently, The Rock wanted to face Cody at WrestleMania 41. Triple H thought it was a terrible idea, but loses out in decision power to Nick Khan and The Rock. Apparently, Cody turned it down, so that's pretty much...
I know, people are debating about whether or not that's true.
I don't know, but I could see it because... Or are they just trying to be kayfabe with The Rock's character? Even if
the
they
Rock
are,
doesn't
then
believe
good.
in kayfabe.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean the other people don't.
That's what pisses me off so much, when he goes out there and talks about angles and playing a character. Because that's the thing, is that in WWE, the press scrums aren't kayfabe.
Yeah, I know. You should be either in character all the time or out of it. I don't know. I always think they should be in character all the time. I come from a time when the heels rode in one car and babyfaces rode in the other. They didn't book the same hotels for them and shit like that. The Horsemen got a whole hotel themselves.
What? How many?
You got to read the story about the Marriott bar in Philly.
Well, how many prostitutes did they have to hire? Jeez.
I don't know, but like all these women came down to the Marriott bar in Philly when they were at the Civic Center one time.
Who was there? Was it Flair?
Flair, Tully, Arn, and like probably Luger or Wyndham.
Tom Zank.
Tom Zank, not a horseman. No, stop it.
Who's the fake horseman?
Paul Roma.
Paul Roma.
Sid Vicious is also a fake horseman.
Why does Flair say that?
Because he didn't like them.
Wasn't Benoit in the Horseman too?
Yeah, That was Benoit, Pillman, Anderson, and Flair.
Paul Roman's in there too.
And then Pillman left, and they replaced him with Mongo McMichael.
Steve Mongo McMichael.
Is he still kicking? Look up if he died yet, Steve McMichael. No, he's got Lou Gehrig's disease, dude. It is terrible. He's like shrunk.
Oh yeah, I think I remember reading that he was like bedridden.
Oh, dude, he can't move at all. I feel so bad.
Oh yeah, he's still alive. 67 years old.
That's it? Oh my God. Poor guy.
Steve Mongo McMichael.
Carmella talks about WWE departure, says she feels she was punished for having a baby. She probably was.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Hey, man. I worked for somebody one time, didn't hire women on purpose because they get pregnant.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Yep, well, not if you don't tell them that.
Yeah.
Raw ratings continue to tumble. 2.6 million down, 200,000 viewers on 224.
They're not bringing in new viewers, that's why.
Yeah, but I don't understand how you can really even look at this shit anymore when it's streaming. Because people aren't watching it live. They're not worried about watching it live. Even when it's on USA, if you set it up to record, the fuck you worried about watching it live?
God, what is China wearing on her bottoms? We're watching
Backlash 99, yeah.
This is Triple, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and Pac. Looks like China has like a G-string on.
She probably does. You know she was a Secret Service agent, right?
I think I heard that before, yeah.
That's true.
You know the Secret Service was originally established to do? Hunt down counterfeit bills.
Really?
They're still technically part of the Treasury Department.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Becky Lynch seems to imply a now deleted tweet in response to CM Punk's promo on 3-3 Raw that perhaps AJ Lee should be keeping her eye on Punk and Roxanne Perez. They had similar outfits at Elimination Chamber, and Becky pointed that out as well. Tweet has since been deleted.
Whatever, I'm sure that's kayfabe.
I don't know.
I always see stuff about Punk at the
because people in the wrestling business, they never have affairs or anything.
I'm just saying that, like, I don't, like, part of me feels like that's kayfabe, but I just remember, I don't know, like I've been telling those jokes for months, ever since Punk showed all this shit of Punk at the Performance Center with all, like, the women wrestlers that are, like, my age.
One of your favorites, former Pinnacle member Shawn Spears, wins NXT North American title.
The accountability buddy, Shawn Spears. Do you remember that?
What?
When they had the Pinnacle and MJF made Shawn Spears Wardlow's accountability buddy. To keep him accountable, he gave him an accountability buddy. And then they had the storyline where MJF owned Wardlow's contract and he kept making him wrestle. We saw that happen live, remember? Where MJF kept bringing in wrestlers every week and he kept making Wardlow wrestle because he was a slave or something.
Wardlow was never going to be.
No, the best thing he did was during Punk and MJF's dog collar match. MJF called Wardlow out to the ring to give him his diamond ring to hit Punk with it. And then he couldn't find it. And then when Punk went over there, Wardlow magically found it and gave it to Punk. And then Punk, I
remember that.
That was the best thing Wardlow did.
Speaking of Punk, he's pulled from shows like the Glasgow Raw taping after previously being advertised for it. Maybe that might be done in kayfabe too. I don't know. A lot of things are blurring the lines right now with the WWE.
Real Glass, the medical staff, they said you ought not to do that. But that tells you where this clown's head's at. So it was brought to CM Punk. He said, we don't do that on Saturday night. Or going to Wembley. He grabbed him by the goozle pipe.
JBL says Vince Russo can't get a job anywhere he's worked.
I
said, well deserved. He's an idiot.
Russo. Who's worse, Russo or Bischoff?
Russo, absolutely.
They're equally bad.
Sure.
I told you should watch the Eric Bischoff's one shot in MLW where they gave him free reign of the show for one night. It sucks.
Oh, I recorded it. I just never watched it yet. It's
ass. He books the same way he did in 1996.
What?
He hasn't evolved.
Cena teasing bringing back Dr. Thugonomics theme.
Word life. This is basic thugonomics. This basic thugonomics. Word life. I'm untouchable, but I'm forcing you to feel. What?
Nothing. I'm just doing it.
What's happening up? again, because I know we're now recording in the basement of a bowling alley, but
I don't know what goes on up there.
because now we have Sad Corbin here as my co-host because he lost all of his money because of Billy Harrington's large penis. But
I didn't see it.
rest in peace. Rest in peace.
What's he dead from?
Car accident.
Oh, it's not what I expected to hear. WWE and UFC talk about a partnership with Saudi Arabia for a new yet unnamed boxing league. That's not why I'm bringing it up, though. The Saudi chairman made some nice comments about Vince McMahon, calling him the greatest promoter ever.
Of course.
This has led crackhead Dave Meltzer to believe that Vince may have something to do with the boxing venture, as Meltzer doesn't think Vince wants to run wrestling against WWE.
Who's that?
Doesn't think he can.
What's this? Oh, wait, is that Kane?
Yeah. What do you think about that? I mean, Dave's crazy.
Whatever. I don't give a shit about the Fed.
Hold on. ITR Wrestling reports that the natural disasters are going into the WWE Hall of Fame. And I was like, really? Before Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express? Tugboat sucked anyhow. No, they're not in there.
Oh, wait, so what? We have who is it? Earthquake, John Tenta.
And Tugboat.
Tugboat.
The Shockmaster.
The Shockmaster, yeah. But, like, I'm surprised. But, like, because I mainly know Tenta for his work outside WWE, in, like, Japan and WCW and stuff. Like that thing where it gets into the real fight with the one guy.
Getting back to the Rock thing, too. You know, the Rock wanted Cody to turn heel. Cody was a terrible heel on AEW. I would never want that. Thank God they fucking turned it down. Speaking of Cody, he surprised Lex Luger with Hall of Fame news on 3-7.
Do you think Luger should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he could join Carlos Colon in the Murderer Wing.
The Murderer Wing. Is Carlos Colon in there?
Yeah, he's in there.
Did he ever wrestle in WWE?
Yeah, he did. He wrestled, or WWE ran some shows with them or something. I don't know.
What about Primo and Epico? They're in TNA. What about Camacho?
Oh, what's his name? Tongaloa? Is that who it is?
Yeah, you remember that? Camacho and Sin Cara on the bike.
Oh, yeah. You're going to make me do it. I'm going to get thrown off again. Hold on, the Sports Dirt. WWE's tag team division in every era ranked from worst to best. I wanted to do this the other week. PG era. This tag team division never gets any respect, it says.
Well, who is there? Like the New Day?
I'm going to tell you. Top WWE tag teams of the era. No, the PG era. This is like 2010, 11, 12. John Morrison, The Miz, 3 title reigns. Primo and Epico, 2. Jericho, 2. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, 2. And the Hart Dynasty, 2.
What the fuck? Now
New Generation era. This is like 94.
Yeah.
Owen Hart and the British Bulldog, 1 title reign. Smoking Guns, 3. Godwins, 2. Legion of Doom, 2. Steiner Brothers, 2. Current era, Netflix era. What is this? Motor City Machine Guns, 1. DIY, 2. Street Profits, 2. Viking Raiders, 2.
The Viking Raiders.
A-Town Down Under, 1. They have it twice. They couldn't find somebody else to put it on. Ruthless Aggression era. This says the brand split hurt the tag team division. Paul London and Brian Kendrick, 2. Eminem, 3. Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, 2. Los Guerreros, 2. Dudley Boys, 10. 10.
10?
Yeah, 4. Reality era. This is like
2013 to 2017 or 2018.
Yeah, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, 1. Team Hell No, 1. The Usos, 8. Harper and Rowan, 1. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, 1. I really like them as a team, too.
Tyson Kidd and Cesaro?
Yeah. 3. The Golden Era. The Hart Foundation, 2. The Rockers, 0, but technically 1.
Why technically 1?
Because Jim Neidhart was going to leave. So they dropped him in Terre Haute, Indiana at a TV tape. And you actually see it in the Brett and Sean DVD now. And then when Jim re-signed at the last minute, they just said like a loose rope nullified the victory. There's actually footage of them hoisting the belts and everything. The Brainbusters, 1. Demolition, 3. British Bulldogs, 1. New Era. What is this one? Oh, the New Day, 11. The Usos, 8. The Bar, 5. The Revival, 3. The Hardy Boys, 9. And the Attitude Era. Star Power could not be topped, it says. Edge and Christian 7. The Hardy Boys 9. New Age Outlaws 6. What the fuck is that shit? My phone's alive. APA 3. New Age Outlaws 6. Dudley Boys 10.
The Acolytes Protection Agency.
Yeah. All right, on to the miscellaneous, or as Elmer Fudd would say, the miscellaneous news. Sabu attacks Joey Janela at GCW show. Retirement match booked for, it was yesterday.
Joey Janela?
Against Sabu. Real American Beer named official beer of the Arena Football League. Fuck him.
What's the Arena Football League?
They play, it's at 50 yards instead of 100.
What's the point of that?
Well, it's indoors, too. I don't know. It's ridiculously fast. 320 date set as Homicide's last match.
Homicide?
Yeah, he's finally going to retire.
Undertaker and Ken Shamrock.
Brian Knobbs sets up GoFundMe after hospital admission, looking to get $30,000. May have to have foot amputated. All right, now let's hit AEW before you wow everybody with your Revolution review.
I'm sorry. I'm reading user reviews of Lords of the Locker Room on
Stop
IMDb.
it! I don't want to hear that again. It's been Ben Wad from the show.
Ben Wad.
Ray Phoenix free from AEW, no longer on roster page.
Yeah, he broke out.
And did you hear that MJF removed his AEW tattoo?
That was a while ago.
Oh, did he? Wonder why he would do that.
God, he's not going to go to the Fed. For fuck's sake. Why would you go there? You're just going to get put in the mid-card wrestling Pete Dunne on main event.
Ah, shut up. Jeff Jarrett resurrected Acclaim Entertainment. Did you hear about this shit?
What's Acclaimed Entertainment?
They used to make like all the wrestling games back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
Yeah, but he resurrected them.
Jeff Jarrett. Double T. Jeff Jarrett. He was on the pre-show last night. I'll talk about that. Because I actually watched the full pre-show last night. All 4 matches. All right. Is that it?
No. Wheeler Yuta leaves John Moxley after loss to Cope.
But then he came back last night.
Hopefully that means, I was like, hopefully that means they'll be putting this angle to bed with the Boar Horseman.
I thought it was the plumber and his merry band of pipe fitters.
Well, it's Dick Boozer and the Boar Horseman, too.
Dick Boozer. What'd you say? He also looks like Baron Von Ratchke.
He does.
Or George the
He's like
Animal.
a balding old man with a slight build.
Or George the Animal Steel.
He needs a red... No, he's too skinny. He needs a red
Russ
cape.
is huge. Have you seen him?
Yeah, but he's not like... George Animal Steel is fat and hairy. Looks nothing like him.
He would eat the turnbuckle.
This is a very good match that we have on right now.
No
one remembers this one.
But he would eat the turnbuckle.
Ken Shamrock and the Undertaker.
But he would eat the turnbuckle pads and then go into the back and puke them up, right?
I guess.
That's what Bret Hart said.
You know, Bret Hart and Randy Savage and Owen Hart did to him because he used to find them.
Because he would show up late.
He goes, George Steele. He goes, George Steele was the biggest fucking stooge there ever was. He goes, one week he was snorting coke with us backstage. He goes, the next week they made him a road agent. And he was like, you know, he would fine you for being a minute late. He goes, so he had this nice, he had Crohn's disease. So he goes, he had this nice Halliburton steel briefcase that had his like colostomy bag and all this stuff. And he goes, Randy Savage took it, and him and Owen shared a car. He goes, and Owen threw it off this bridge in New York into the water. And he yells, cocksucker, as he threw it off the bridge.
Because they find him.
Yeah, but he was like one of the boys 1 minute. Then he was like...
I just know George the Animal Steel at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, he was in Steamboat's corner, right?
Yeah. And then Elizabeth was in Randy's corner.
Dynamite 3.5, 600,000 viewers, up from 598 the week before.
Had an amazing
Not much
venue.
before.
An amazing venue. They were at like this theater in Sacramento with like 1,000 people. It was packed. Felt like an ECW show.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I recommend you find it. We also got to see the Bad Apple in action.
Oh, shut up. Cope says he didn't really know where the Death Riders were going in the beginning. I'm like, I don't know now.
Cope? The Cope and Pope connection?
Tony Khan also remains adamant that All In 2023 set a wrestling attendance record. Cue Dom DeLuise.
Who's Dom DeLuise?
Wrong!
You'll see. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe nobody's listening to this.
Yeah, since we're recording this beneath a bowling alley.
Tony Khan said he has taken tighter control of creative heading into Revolution. Oh, goody.
Well, I mean, it was an amazing show besides the main event. Which... We bring the boom!
All right. Go to the show.
All right.
Review it. I want to hear your best here, Mr. Walter Cronkite of wrestling.
Here we go. From the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California.
Let's get ready to stumble! Anyway, go ahead.
Here in the front lines of South Vietnam.
No, don't do Walter Cronkite.
Okay, here
Just
we go.
read the fucking shit.
The pre-show, which they only have 3 of the matches listed, because I guess one of them got thrown out right as it started. But, okay, the first match, Commander and Hologram with Alex Abrahantes defeated Lee Johnson and Blake Christian by pinfall.
Yeah, I missed that one.
It was just Hologram and Commander doing cool luchador shit. The next match, Daniel Garcia on the Undisputed Kingdom, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly defeated your favorite, Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor, Carly Bravo, Lee Moriarty, and the Captain Sean Dean.
Yeah, why are they king of the pre-shows?
No, but they're setting stuff up. I'm hoping at Dynasty for Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia for the TNT belt.
Yeah, Adam Cole, I wanted to make a comment about this. He looked like he was in better shape, or he at least had a meal since we seen him last.
He doesn't look quite like Andrew Beckett anymore.
That's terrible. That is awful. All right, anyway, continue.
Okay, then was it after or before this was supposed to be Jericho versus Gravity for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I am the learning tree! But then he came out with Big Bill and the Bad Apple, and they immediately all ganged up on him. They all ganged up on Gravity and started attacking him, so then Aubrey Edwards immediately threw the match out before the bell even rang.
Yeah, she sucks. I love when she comes running in the ring trying to break up stuff. I'm like, I wish Jericho would have hit her in the head last night. He was going to hit their mother, right? Jericho.
I stopped paying attention because then Bandito came out, but then Jericho ripped off Gravity's mask.
Oh, I saw that.
Which is a crime, the highest crime that can be committed against
a crime of the highest order.
That's what Alex Abrahantes said. Malachi Black! Don't you know it's sacrilegious to unmask a luchador? That's where they had the Death Triangle feuding with the House of Black, and they kidnapped Fuego del Sol and were going to sacrifice him.
Fuego del Sol.
Fuego del Sol!
Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Continue.
I remember they had that feud where Miro took his car. It was pretty funny. And then the big main event of the pre-show, the conglomeration, Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe alongside Big Boom AJ with Big Justice and the Rizzler in their corner defeated Johnny TV and the MXM Collection, Mansoor and Mason Madden with Taya Valkyrie.
Who are entertaining.
They are great.
I snickered a couple of times.
This was a very entertaining match. We bring the boom!
Oh, please. Let me just tell you about Kevin James back there. He looks like Kevin James in that fucking UFC movie.
Who?
He's like the biggest draw in AEW right now.
No, he's not.
He is so.
Big Boob AJ. He can actually
Big
wrestle.
boobs AJ, yeah.
He can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
Kevin James. What UFC movie was Kevin James in?
I forget what it's called. I didn't watch it. I just remember seeing the previews. I wouldn't waste my fucking time.
And then we had the first match on the main show. Hangman Adam Page defeated MJF in a classic 4.5 out of stars.
We'll see.
Great match.
When Crack Pipe Dave puts up the
first time they've had an actual singles match in like 6 years since the first ever Dynamite Diamond Ring. And then we had, it was a great match. Mercedes Moné defeated Momo Watanabe. I didn't see this. I had to go and shower. And then I had some pop, and then I was getting myself some popcorn. So then we had Swerve's house.
I started to lose signal during this. Yeah, there was a lot of times on Triller TV, one
Triller's feed sucked last night.
Well, that was where I was stealing the feed from.
And then you had Swerve with Prince Nana defeated Ricochet in a number 1 contendership match. This was really good.
Prince Puma, from what I saw, it was. But like I said, after
Prince
that,
Puma and Killshot over here.
Prince Puma and Killshot.
That's what they were in Lucha Underground.
Swerve was in there too?
Swerve was Killshot.
I didn't know that. I knew he was Prince Puma.
Yeah, but Swerve was Killshot. You don't remember Killshot?
No, I remember Prince Puma, Angelico, and Johnny Mundo, who was also on the fucking show last night.
That's what
which
I
we
said.
just talked
Johnny
about.
TV.
Yeah, but like he's still the fucking around.
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
He shows up. Yeah, because he's in comedy matches mostly now. He's like the good hand in comedy matches.
Oh, he's always been a hell of a hand. He was the original guy every year doing the fucking Royal Rumble spot before Kofi goddamn Kingston.
Kind of like the Brooklyn Brawler I've read about. People said I've read stuff that says that he was a good hand in the ring.
Yeah, Pat Patterson said he was a good hand. Said he had 2 good hands.
The Brooklyn Brawler.
He was Pat Patterson's jizz rag.
Oh God,
that's what everybody said.
And then we had Okada. We had Cody defeated Brody King by pinfall. I don't really remember much about this.
Brody King. Brody King had to go down to defeat.
This was a good match, though. I remember it being good. I just don't remember much else. And then we had the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin with Mark. What is it? What's the M and MVP stand for? Montel
Vontavious Porter.
Defeated the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd, and Truth Magnum. Now we have also Nigel McGuinness on commentary telling some great jokes. Like, I asked Truth Magnum if he was named after a condom, and he told me, what's a condom? Because we had the Outrunners come out with the 80s entrance where they put the big black bars on the side of the screen and put like the VHS haze on it. It was really good. But then, it was a glorified squash match for the Hurt Syndicate because we hurt people.
There's no way you could put the Outrunners over to them. Not right away. They need to get the shit kicked out of them.
That's what happened.
Good. It needs to keep happening until I say otherwise. Then you come up from underneath.
Because they had a number 1 contendership match between the Murder Machines, who's Brian Cage and Lance Archer, against the Outrunners, and the Outrunners barely won against the Murder Machines. Because Lance Archer's the Murder Hawk Monster, and Brian Cage is the Machine. If you remember, once he came out dressed in a bunch of tinfoil. When he was the FTW champion feuding with John Moxley. When Moxley was that was during Moxley's first reign, I think. And then we had a trilogy of matches that all could have main evented the show. Wait, what the fuck?
What?
Thomas Tony Storm versus Mariah May was only 13 minutes?
Why did it seem longer?
Yeah! Because it was so good.
Yeah.
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 Whose game is it? It's LA Knight's game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see he won the U.S. Championship from Shinsuke Nakamura and supposedly it was going to be at WrestleMania, but they moved it to a random SmackDown episode because they thought it would be a lack of interest. And supposedly Shinsuke is not going to be re-signed.
I'd like to give him a run in AEW on the way out the door. He can put some people over.
Go to New Japan, have a match with Tanahashi.
Hang it up. It'd be the slowest match you've seen since Hogan and Flair in Australia on the Hulkamania tour in 2009.
What about
like 2 old men walking in like molasses.
Oh, no, you haven't seen the main event of this. What about the yappa pie? Yappa pie.
Oh, don't get me sad. I was just listening to that the other day.
Yappa
I can't ever listen to
pie!
it again. I told you I'm trying to do a Google takeout to get them videos at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, even if we can't put them back up, I'm gonna.
Yappa pie! What was that? Why was it even called that? And
Because he was a fucking idiot. And it was like a Yamapai for Indian, and it's just a regular strap match. And remember, he drug him to all 4 quarters, touched 3 quarters, leg drop him, pinned him, got up, touched the 4th quarter to win the match again, apparently.
What is that? Like uncensored 99?
No, 2000. It was 2000.
Or, yeah, I love WCW 2000 and Sin.
You also do you like getting punched in the balls over and over?
New Blood Rising.
Do you like to turn around a corner and somebody just punch you right in the face?
I tell you, there's some entertaining stuff, like when Mike Awesome threw Chris Canyon off that 30-foot cage, which had something that reminded me of this later. But the point is that the 9th, 10th, and 11th match all could have main evented this show and been better than what we got. But we had the greatest women's match I've ever seen. Toni Storm versus Mariah May in the Hollywood ending match. Falls Count Anywhere, no DQs. It was amazing. I don't really know how else. You just got to watch it. It was just so brutal. They were both gushing blood by the end. Tony put Mariah through the Hollywood sign to end it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had thumbtacks, the shoe that Mariah stabbed Tony with at the start. They had a chain. I think they had real glass, Cry Me a River. They had a lot of great stuff on this show. On that match. And then that's the end of their feud for now. Luther got put through a table.
About time he does something to earn his keep.
Do you know why he has a job?
Yeah, because he's the personal concierge, isn't he?
No, because Jericho knows him from the 90s.
What's his real name? Look it up.
Originally he was an
because if it's somebody I remember, I'm gonna be very upset that I didn't get it.
Len Olson, also known as Dr. Luther.
Mm-mm.
He was in FMW, War, and IWA Japan.
As what?
Ring names: Atomic Punk, Dr. Luther, Lenny St. Clair, Mad Jack, and Father Dante.
Don't know any of them. And you know how much FMW and Wing stuff I have.
Trained by the Heart Dungeon. Debuted in 1988.
Oh, so he met him in Stampede when he started.
Billed from the Kingdom of Nye.
It's fucking stupid.
Hey, but this is the best stuff he's doing. Is Tony Storm's butler. Luther!
I do love Tony. I do love me some Tony Storm.
A lot of people think that this was the best women's feud of all time in North American wrestling.
Continue.
All right, then we had Konosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega for the International Championship.
Which I heard was a gem.
I mean, it's a Kenny Omega match. It's an Omega and Takeshita match. What do you expect? It was at least 5 stars. Omega becomes the first ever Grand Slam AEW champion. He's won the world title, the tag titles, the international title, and the trios title.
Yes, he did.
He had
that with the Bucks for a half an hour before they got suspended.
No, and then they won them back.
Oh, they did?
They did the best of 7 series with the Death Triangle, and then they lost them to the House of Black, and then the House of Black lost them to the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass.
Huh.
And now the trios belts just kind of don't exist anymore, it feels like. Because the pipe fitters have them. Claudio, Yuta, and Pac. Again, you forget there's a world title because it's been in a briefcase for months.
Yeah, it's like there is no champion. It's like it's vacant. It's like vacant, like Moxley's personality and the stare on its bald face.
God,
he needs it. He didn't look. He looks better with the big beard. Are you watching this match though, right here? Shamrock and the Undertaker. This is a fucking classic.
Marina Shafir is an impeachable character.
Whatever.
What's the thing you said about him turning to the camera?
Yeah, like they had a 2-camera shoot, and you're just supposed to be able to catch the other angle of him talking, like from the side. And he would turn and look at the fucking camera. He'd be like, Marina, is it? She is it? What the? Hold the fucking thing. Hold it still. You know? That's what it was. It was awful.
Then they had the thing of them driving in a Ram truck in like the Utah Salt Flats.
Oh, how about, speaking of how we, I lost the channel and everything. I tried to get an Instagram login.
And they banned that too.
No, but they banned it under 2 different. There's something weird with that in Instagram.
And then we had my personal favorite match, the closest we've gotten to my wish of seeing someone die in the ring. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage. This is like a fucking 7-star match. You have to watch this.
I have it on my phone.
Match I've seen from out of these two.
Just the last 3 you described on the same card. Look at the tracking's all fucked up.
It was absolutely breathtaking. Will Ospreay and him did a fucking Spanish fly off the top of the cage.
What's a Spanish fly again?
Like, Ospreay had him like this, and then he flipped him off the top of the cage.
Oh, okay.
I audibly screamed. Everyone in the arena.
Well, every time you scream, it should be audible. You're yelling.
Apparently, Ospreay may have injured his hip, but there was so much blood. Jannetty, the biggest Jannetty since Jannetty came out with bolt cutters and cut his way into the cage. Mark Davis, the biggest Jannetty since Jannetty Prime, as I'm calling him, kind of like Earth Prime, Superboy Prime. We have Jannetty Prime and Mark Davis, who's Jannetty 1, because he's the biggest Jannetty since Jannetty. And then there was a bag of weapons, and they had thumbtacks. They did a Styles Clash onto the thumbtacks, and Fletcher was covered in them. He had thumbtacks on his balls, it looked like.
Oh, Jesus. This does sound like a fucking a keeper.
They were fighting with baseball bats. And then Ospreay did like a hidden blade with barbed wire on his arm, I think.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that this morning while I was on the John.
Where Fletcher's gushing blood and he channels Anakin from the end of Revenge of the Sith. I hate you! I hate you! I fucking hate you!
What was he yelling at, a bucket of sand?
No, I was yelling at Ospreay.
I hate sand.
And then Ospreay beat him. And Fletcher looked like he was dead. I still wanted to see someone die, but I still want to see someone hang. Let them hang for the world to see.
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
What's the thing?
Congratulations, was getting caught part of your plan? Of course! What's next? Crashing this plane with no survivors!
A lot of people hate Dark Knight.
Expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
A lot of people don't like Dark Knight Rises, but I love Dark Knight Rises.
Did you ever watch Aeronauts where he dubs over the movie when he's like, what did you have for breakfast? He goes, bagel and cream cheese. He goes, did you ever hear the expression, you are what you eat?
Yeah.
Do you know what I see? Bagel and cream cheese.
Did you ever see the thing of, the funniest is when he robs the stock.
Frowny biscuit.
Is that he robs the stock exchange. He fucking robs the stock exchange.
Really? Why are you people here?
There's nothing to steal. It's the stock exchange.
And why are you people here?
But anyway, then we get to the main event. And a lot of people were saying that this was like a 90s WCW show.
Wait a second, wait. Dr. Pavel refused our offer in favor of yours. We had to find out what he told you. Go ahead. I had to get that out.
We had, this. We have an amazing undercard, an amazing pay-per-view, and then a main event of 2 ex-WWE guys in rest holds for 20 minutes. Seriously, 20 of the 30 minutes of this match were fucking rest holds. Copeland spent most of the match laying down on the ground. And it was I was expecting the fucking finger poke of doom. It's insane.
I heard Christian cashed in.
Oh, God.
And was choked out.
Get me started.
I told you that was going to happen at some point.
No, but when it happened, I wanted Christian to win but he didn't. What happened was Yuta came out. Well, first they took out Bryce Remsburg. Then Yuta came out. Then Jay White came out and to take out Yuta, but he hit Copeland by mistake. So then fucking Christian comes out. It's Ziggler! He's cashing in! He's cashing in! He comes out with the briefcase. He pulled Bryce Remsburg out of the ring from counting 3. He pings out the briefcase. He takes a pen and he signs his contract for no fucking reason because he joins in the match. And then Moxley, he immediately spears Cope. And then Cope kicks out. He hits him with the unprettier. And then Moxley breaks it up. So then Moxley puts him in a bulldog choke. And then they fight over that for 5 minutes. Then Cope's still on the ground. So then Christian puts his hand on him. He's pinning him. So then they count to 2. But then Moxley turns Christian. And then Christian turns blue. And he passes out.
You said he counts to 2 and Christian turns blue. And all the Who's down in Whoville.
And then it's like all of the oxygen...
I was only half listening and it sounds awful.
All of the oxygen was sucked out of the arena. It was Hogan
what
and
a
Nash.
lovely voice.
I would rather have seen the finger poke of doom because at least that was quick. I mean, this was 20 minutes of... At least Moxley can kind of... Moxley can wrestle, but he needs someone else there who can wrestle. And Cope just can't work.
Yeah, he can't... Well, Cope's never been the guy to call the match.
But especially
you know what a good opening match one year is? I don't know if it's Backlash 03 or... It's one pay-per-view in 03. It's Edge versus Shawn Michaels. It's an opener. It's really, really fucking good.
Cope can't...
Michaels and Jericho were good, too.
Lead the match. Moxley can have a great match, but he needs someone else there who can lead it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Only certain guys could lead. That was a creepy kiss for Vince and his daughter, but we know how fucking weird he is now. But apparently it's legal to be a sexual deviant and run on the loose.
But then, God, the quality on this is so fucking bad. Where'd you get this? An old porn store?
Dude, this is the live feed from a VHS to a DVD-R. What the fuck do you want? It's $19.99. And probably price and year. Spare no expense.
Oh, look at Shane O'Mac there. The special guest referee.
This is 26 years ago, dude. I remember Phil called me over his house while this was playing. And he was like, dude, Joe let me order Backlash. Was his mom's boyfriend. Yeah. Or whatever it was.
Dyke House.
Crack house.
But then Moxley's walking out. He collapses on the ground. He's got his briefcase. And then, Rick Rude in ECW. And then, wait, why is Shane coming out to No Chance in Hell?
Because I don't know. That wasn't. This is before Here Comes the Money.
Here comes the money.
Shane's only a few months after being off of Sunday Night Heat as an announcer. Him and Jim Cornette were the original announcers.
Here comes the money.
Jim Cornette was the original announcer on SmackDown. When did
he do the big coast to coast kick into the trash can?
Who?
Shane.
Oh, that's 17. That's 2001.
Rock was never good, but
still around though.
Because he has half WWE as his sex slaves. But
no, I'm not laughing, making fun of you.
But then it was just the way it ended was Swerve came in and he jumped onto Moxley from the concourse. So it looks like people are hoping that they have Swerve take the belt off Moxley at the next Dynamite or something. Don't even wait till Dynasty. Just get this shit over with. Please. And then have Moxley go away for a few months. Maybe to the Continental Classic in December.
Another
at
one
least
of those.
At least All In. Because supposedly Swerve gave the title up to Danielson. He wanted Danielson to have a world title reign. So it looks like now we're just going back to what the original plan was, to have Swerve as champion. And if Mox wins against Swerve, like...
Then what the fuck are they doing?
Well...
I already don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Again, everything's good but the main event.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be the draw that brings you there.
But it's not. You know what the draw is? The mid-card belts.
Yeah, but then you got people leaving? Was there still people there?
Whatever.
No, I mean, was there still people there during the main event?
I guess. I don't know. It seemed like it.
Okay.
People weren't really reacting because you had 3 back-to-back 5-star or above matches right before that.
Look at this crowd, though, here in Providence in this little fucking arena.
Wait, so why do they both have belts?
Because he's got the old belt. Well, he's the real champion.
Who?
It's Austin. Rock stole his Smoking Skull belt. They have WrestleMania. They have 4 matches. Austin wins 3. The Rock only wins 1.
Wait, really?
They have WrestleMania 15. No, they have more than that. They had a feud over the Intercontinental title in 97.
Really?
Yeah, that's where they started.
It was 17, 2000, 15.
No, it wasn't 2000.
No, not 2000.
No, it was 15, Backlash, 17, and 19. That was Austin's last match.
When they headlined paper. Wait, but how many times they've headlined pay-per-views?
Probably more than that.
Well, because I know there's 3 pairs that have headlined 3 WrestleManias for a trilogy. 2 of them, Triple H and Undertaker.
Yeah, 17. 17's the first one. It's really good.
And
that's where Motorhead plays Triple H to the ring.
No, but that they headline WrestleMania. They have 3 main event matches.
Well, that wasn't a main event of 17.
Exactly, but that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
And then the 3rd main event trilogy was Roman and Brock.
Ugh.
Not deserving.
Those matches were ugly. That's all I gotta say.
Oh. We want piss vids! We want piss vids!
Well, that's just about all the time we have here this week.
Yep. All right. Signing off.
Good night, everybody. Hopefully you heard this.
Get your hand off my penis!